Pryde's Picks is spoiler heavy and full of crude language. I swear like a sailor, and Lockheed's no better. Consider yourself warned. Hi everyone, it's June 5th and I'm here with this week's Pryde's Picks. We are going to start with one book from DC, do a butt ton of Marvel, and round it out with a couple new books from Vertigo Comics. Now, Batman Detective Comics issue 21 reminded me a lot of the Wolverine movie when he's in love with this girl and she dies and then later on she's alive and she betrays him. The same bullshit going on in here, and just as obnoxious. I really could care less about this chick, and she learns to be a shadow assassin. And somehow, she gets like these Shiva-like arms that are made of shadows. Except they just look purple, but everybody looking at it, it's like it's made of shadows. It doesn't look like a shadow. She fights Batman, except that she is undone from her ninja-like assassin skills by... what's the opposite of shadows? Figuring it out. The big reveal at the end is who sent her. So if you'd like to see what's going on in Batman Detective Comics and how Batman is so sad and tired of being manipulated by people he loves, this book is somewhat enjoyable. It's not awful. The art varies from I can barely choke it down to a couple of pages where they're really cute. Harper, who was kind of trying to be a mini Batman and she was running around with her own little tuba, she's in it, and the art on her is kind of cute, but the rest of it, I wasn't a huge fan. I would say pick this up, flip through it on the shelf, but no, you really don't have to buy this book at all. Let's move on to Age of Ultron Book 9. Now, we are one book away from the end of Age of Ultron, and we have yet to see Ultron himself. We have seen his presence, we have seen his bots, we have seen his destruction, but Ultron's nowhere to be found yet, and they say he's in the future? The cover, what the hell? Okay, so you're saying after all this bullshit with Age of Ultron, it's really just going to be Wolverine that makes everything all better again? Is that what's going to happen here? Is that him going stabby on himself? Is this supposed to be enjoyable? I am being incredibly let down by this book. I have no idea where it's going, and they got one more book to wrap it up, and I feel like they had so much potential to do something awesome, and they have 9 books in. So the art is nice. The art is definitely pretty. Then it flips to like in the past, and man, that Wolverine costume from the alternate universe is fucking ridiculous. But the book was shit. It was terrible. I can't tell you to pick it up, but I'm in it this deep, so I will be reading issue 10. I would say wait for the trade, and you can be angry with me. Let's jump into Thanos Rising issue 3. This book is the complete opposite of Age of Ultron because this book actually has Thanos in it, and he's in fact rising. It's a really good book. Thanos has developed from being this little precocious child to being this little sociopath, and in this book he's an adult, and he's a little bit of a pirate, and he's a little bit of a whore, and he's really twisted and does a lot of weird stuff, and in the end he's like, I'm in love with so-and-so, and I don't know, it's twisted as hell, and I think for that reason I'm really enjoying it, and because I really didn't know much about Thanos before this book, so it's definitely a book for people who haven't read Thanos or know anything about him. This book will catch you up and intrigue you, and I can't wait for the movie. I would say the art in it is beautiful. I enjoy the art in this book. Since issue 1, it's been the same artist, and I like it a lot. I say pick it up, buy it now, read it, tell me what you think, but I think Thanos Rising is a good book. One of few good books out this week. Let's jump into All New X-Men meets Uncanny Avengers, issue 12. So last we saw the Uncanny Avengers are sitting on the doorstep of the Jean Grey Mutant Academy. This book is the interaction between them. I didn't care for a lot of what was going on in there. I felt like it was a lot of wasting my time, but there were a few moments that made it worthwhile. There are some sweet moments between Havoc and young Scott Summers where they get to bond on a level that Havoc hasn't gotten to bond with his brother in a long time. So it was kind of heartfelt, kind of moving, little fist bumping going on. It was cute. And when young Jean Grey comes in contact with the Uncanny Avengers and she sees Scarlet Witch and accidentally bumps into her mind, shit hits the fan, and she's screaming stuff that we're all thinking. Like, why the fuck is she still here? Why is she a fucking Avenger? What's going on? So that part of the book was good, but at the same time I felt like she was kind of whiny and emo. The ending itself, we kind of see where everything's going. It's not a big surprise, but there were some really adorable moving moments in here. So definitely pick it up. You don't have to buy it now. I'm going to wait for the trade because I still want to know what's going on with the Uncanny X-Men and when they're actually going to go home. Let's jump into Superior Spider-Man issue 11. Now, as we all know, Doc Ock is fully in control of Spidey's body and he's out, making the world a better place. He ends up coming in contact again with J. Jonah Jameson, and Jameson's like, the Spider Slayer is about to be killed on death row, and I want you to witness it, because we're now best friends. So he's like, also because I think the Spider Slayer might try to escape. He's on death row, of course he's going to try to escape. He's about to be killed. So Spider-Man comes out there, Superior Spider-Man, and of course there is a 2-page spread of him saying, I am the Superior Spider-Man, which I swear is obligatory for every single issue, and it's really annoying at this point. The book itself kind of did show that Doc Ock is a lot smarter than Parker, and along the way, he has a lot of ideas on how to stop what the Spider Slayer has going on, and kind of like cuts him off at every turn. The Spider Slayer's like, oh, well, I'll do this, and he's like, oh, I already thought of that, and I did this. So it's like this chess match between these two evil geniuses, and that was really cool to see. The book itself was good. I say pick it up, read it. If you're a fan of Superior Spider-Man, you're going to definitely want to own this issue because you come in contact with all the villains he's come up against so far, and you see all the damage he's done to them and what has become of them. And so it does feel like a pretty good climax as to what's been going on with Superior Spider-Man. Definitely buy it. I'd say buy it now or buy it soon. I'm not going to rush you right out there. Buy it soon. Let's move on into Vertigo Comics with Astro City issue 1. This is a remake of a previous Astro City that I never read, so I am coming into this book completely new. The cover is definitely an Alex Ross cover. It's his art. It's very beautiful. And there are a couple blurbs on it from some famous names. One of which is Neil Gaiman saying that this Astro City is art, and it is good art. It creates something, a place, perhaps a medium, or just a tone of voice in which good stories are told. I'll tell you that the art inside of it is not what he's talking about because it's awful. And the story itself we'll get into in a minute. But the other big name blurb on here is from The Onion. I don't know why out of all the people that could have commented on this, they're going to take The Onion as face value as to a good comment. And The Onion just says, a stunningly imaginative piece of work. That's it. Made the cover from The Onion. I'm just saying. Alright, so you open the page and the first thing you have is this alien, green-haired, purple, like Captain Planet knockoff motherfucker, and he's breaking the fourth wall and he's talking to you, the reader. And then throughout the book, he's convincing the reader that they're involved in the story. Quick, think of this character. Think of him doing this. Look, he did. It's all because of you. I get that they're trying to do something different. They're trying to pull the reader in and make the reader feel like they are part of the story. Sort of like the Never-Ending Story where the little kid's reading the book and then gets pulled into the book. So I get the imaginative idea behind it, but it just feels so forced. Like when Deadpool's talking to us, I feel like it's forced. It's trying to be super cunning and it's trying to be super quirky and witty, and it just comes off cheesy. That's how I felt with this book. Now basically this guy's talking about how there's this big omniscient power that knows everything about superheroes and about people, and he's trying to fly under the radar of this guy, and you don't quite know why. And this big door shows up in the middle of the city, and he's like, we need to find out what it is, but we can't send in the big heroes because they're too well known. Well, while he's off trying to find like a lesser known person, like a complete nobody, all the heroes find this big door and they start trying to F it up. Except that nobody can do anything, so then the government comes in and they start shooting missiles and all these tourist people are watching, and like shit's just hitting the fan. And then this big power dude comes walking out and he's like, Greetings, Earthlings. We're from another world, and we're here to work with you and be a part of your community, and we want to learn about you. And we're going to pick one guy. And then it's like this, oh, quick, now you're involved in getting this one guy to talk to this guy. And I don't know what Gaiman was thinking, but I'm going to agree with The Onion. It is a stunningly imaginative piece of work. I will read issue 2 just to see where this is going, but I didn't love issue 1, and I get what they're trying to do, I just couldn't get behind it. Thanks, Onion. Let's move on to Vertigo's The Wake, issue 1. I try my best to pick up any book I see on the shelf that's new, that's an issue 1 of something I've never heard of, and kind of view it with open, fresh eyes. And I picked this book up without even opening up the inside to see what it was about, and I didn't even open it up till I got home. So with a name like The Wake, I thought it was going to have to do with some sort of dream world or a dream state, or maybe it would have to do with, like, in the wake of a tragedy. But what it really had to do with was the wake is referring to water. And this is like a post-apocalyptic water world, and there's a little bit of like a past, present, future going on, trying to show you exactly how this wake came to be. And you've only caught a glimpse of each little area, but it's different and it's unique, and it kind of reminded me of Sequest when I was a kid, and I really got into it. The main character is just some mom that knows a lot about the world of critters underwater, and there's some other people involved. The first page really got me because I think that's what reminded me most of Sequest. There's this girl with a pet dolphin, and she can communicate with the dolphin, and I was like, oh my god, it's just like Sequest. I freaking love this crap. So I enjoyed The Wake. I got to the last page and didn't know what the hell was going on, but it left me eager to read the next book. So I am going to say definitely buy it now, or at least pick it up and read it in your comic book shop, because it's different, it's something I haven't seen a million times, and I liked it. That's it for this week. I am so sorry I didn't review any books last week, but I was in the middle of moving across town to a bigger place where I would have better internet and more space to bring you more comic book reviews. Stay tuned, I might even do like a little video tour of my bedroom and my house, because I have no life and it's really cute and I want to share it with y'all when it's done, but we're not finished yet. So look for it in a couple of weeks. And good night, everybody. Mwah.